Hi, in this little video, what I was hoping to show you is how to go into your WordPress templates once you have decided on your theme and you've started putting in your content. What happens when you see something that you want to modify and you need to do it through CSS? Well, what you can do is when you go into your appearance, there's the button called Customize, which we've talked about before. When you go into Customize, though, depending on what theme you have, you're going to have different options here. This one has site identity, color, theme options, cover template, background image, menus, widgets, and then there's this one down here called Additional CSS. So if you do not find what you want in these top options, there is one called Additional CSS. Now in here, I'm going to delete that. It should be blank. And let's say for this website, I would like to go in and my text here in my main paragraph, I would like it to be wider. I feel like it's too narrow for what I want for my design. And so with this, what I need to do, and you can do this anytime you're working in WordPress, you always can right click on any element and choose Inspect. Once you do that, it will bring up and show you the CSS that's behind and the HTML that's behind that actual element. And so when I go in here, I can see that these are my paragraphs. The class is called entry content. Here you can see I refer to the class as .entry content. And I can take, well, one thing I can do is if I wanted to, I could play around in here and I could say, well, instead of 58 for my width, what if I did 95? And I can say to myself, okay, I think that looked better. You're not really manipulating the page when you manipulate these items here. All you're doing is changing the potential of it. So you're just, it's almost like you have a little canvas and you can just try something, and if you don't like it, you can go away from it. So it's not actually changing the HTML and the CSS, it's just showing you what it would look like. So once you find the element that you want, and I just did, you can copy that style. So that's entry content. So I can just do a Command C to copy it. I can go over to my CSS and do a Command V and paste. And then I can go into the CSS and change it to whatever I want. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to be 95 because I want it to be wider. I also want to put a comment up here because if you don't comment your CSS, you're never going to understand it because you didn't write, or I didn't write this code. Somebody else wrote it for me, but I need to make sure I comment it so that if I come back later, I know what it is I was changing. So in this comment, I could say, I wanted to make the width larger for my paragraph text. And then I can end my comment, and voila, now I've made my text larger. You can always see, well, I can close this inspect window back down, and I can look and see what it looks like in the different types. So I can go mobile, tablet, desktop, and then if I'm happy with it, I can click on publish. Now, what if I want these link colors to be different and I can't figure out how to change those in the customize? Well, again, I can inspect the element, and you can see that this element is here. I can go ahead and copy it. So Command C, Command V, and then I can just put a little comment in here and say, I wanted to change the color of the links to blue. Now, keep in mind, you shouldn't use just the color names, but for the purpose of this example, I'm just going to put blue instead of putting the hexadecimal. And then I'm going to close my inspect element. And now you can see that I've made my links blue. So then I can click on publish if I'm happy with that. And I can go back out. I can always go somewhere else, like maybe I need to go to my colors, and I can go back to additional CSS, and I can always go in here and change it. But just know that you can go to any element on your web page and right click and you can inspect it. And if you know how to inspect it, you can see that now this is my H1 element called entry title. And you can see down here, these are all the elements of that one element. So these are all the properties. And if I wanted to, I could go in here and make these changes and decide what I wanted to change. And once I got it just how I wanted it, I'd copy that rule and I'd throw it over to my additional CSS. So I hope this short video taught you a little bit more about going in and actually manipulating whatever theme you choose for your project. And like always, if you have any questions, you can shoot me an email and I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.